me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start looking as a lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but I'm in the dead of the night. Teardrops on the floor. The pain is over. Feel the darkness take control.
Turn toward me and look so weak. I've never seen you with such tired eyes. And everything we said we'd be, we just traded for a suit coat and a tie. And underneath the rows of trees, I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. You're shining bold, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. You're shining bold, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild, 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 wild. Follow me down, there's no one around. Lay back and take your socks and shoes right off. That natural light is so damn polite, can make you feel just like you were young again.
Changes for them. Zabaleta, Masuaku and Snodgrass come in for Cresswell, Arnautovic and Ryan Fredericks. 4-11s in just a moment's time. But first, hello to Rufus Brevitt, who's alongside me. Just before I ask you about your former team, West Ham, what about Manchester United? The run of form of late has been very, very poor. They've got to win this game simply, haven't they?
Well, it's the game that they've got to win. They're looking to get to the, fourth or third spot. So this is a game that they really can't afford to lose.
61 points right now, Manchester United, 2 behind Arsenal, 5 behind Chelsea, who sit in 4th right now. What has happened in recent times under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? I mean, they were so good. They were winning every single game. They looked fantastic. Even the first game they lost against Arsenal, they were the better side. But against Wolves and against Barcelona, they were outplayed.
Yeah, they were. And I think when you look at, they were so good, and all of a sudden, a manager shows his worth when they lose a game, and that's when you look at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. What's he going to do? And it's just not been good enough, and they'll look to get back on track today.
Lots of changes from the side in midweek in that first leg against Barcelona. Marcus Rashford on the subs bench for this one, and Scott McTominay was fantastic in that game, dropping out as well. Fred in the central midfield with Pogba and Juan Mata. What do you make to Fred? £61.2 million from Shakhtar.
I think when he first come in, you were thinking, what is this? But he's the last few games, I think he's shown his worth, and and he can only surely get better.
I love the analysis. So what is this? It's a great question. I really don't know at this point. What about West Ham United? They had a brilliant December, great run of form, but ever since the Arnautovic sulk, who by the way is ill and hasn't travelled to Old Trafford today, with that being the case, it's all kind of fallen off for West Ham. And I mentioned it in the opener there. I don't think there has been questions about Manuel Pellegrini until this point. They could easily finish this season 15th or 16th. They spent £100 million in the summer.
Well, quite easily. I mean, when you look at the December there, how do you think can they kick on and maybe get to a 7th spot? It's looking very, very distant now with the way that they're playing. Away from home, since the turn of the year, they've not won a game. They've scored 1 goal. It's desperate.
And that was a penalty.
And that was a penalty. So it's looking desperate. And this is the last place you want to come, especially when Manchester United need the points to get 3rd or 4th.
Here are the starting 11s then. For Manchester United, David De Gea is in goal. Back 4, left to right, of Marcus Rojo, Chris Smalling, Phil Jones and Diogo Dalot. Midfield of Fred, Pogba and Mata. Up front, Romelu Lukaku with Martial and Lingard. The bench has Lindelof, Rashford, Pereira with Romero, Darmian, McTominay and Mason Greenwood. For West Ham, Fabianski in goal. Back 4, left to right, of Arthur Masuaku, Angelo Ogbonna, Fabian Balbuena and Pablo Zabaleta. Midfield trio, Mark Noble, Declan Rice and Manuel Lanzini. Robert Snodgrass and Felipe Anderson supporting former United man Javier Hernandez. The bench is Adrian, Obiang, Diop, Fredericks, Antonio, Diangana and Nathan Holland. Let's hear from the two managers, shall we? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer of Manchester United and West Ham's Manuel Pellegrini.
Sometimes, you just don't have that little feel, that little confidence. So you have to do it in training and hope that it comes out again in the games, because we have been fantastic. But lately we haven't been ruthless or clinical enough in front of goal.
Talking with the players, trying to do our best to feel that in every game we have 60,000 people behind us that want to see our team winning. And I'm absolutely sure that we are going to have a strong reaction in the next game.
I've still got options, of course, to rest 1 or 2, because there are games coming up and loads of games, and they'll all play a part. Like we had players on the bench on Wednesday night, like Jesse, Anthony, that normally start games. So yeah, there will be a couple of changes.
Well, more than link one game with the other one, that's 3 points that we need in this moment. We have lost some.
Balbuena and Pablo Zabaleta, the former City man. Mark Noble, Declan Rice and Manuel Lanzini. A midfield trio, Robert Snodgrass and Felipe Anderson on the wings. Former United favourite Javier Hernandez is up front. On the bench it's Adrian, Obiang, Diop, Fredericks, Antonio, Diangana and young Nathan Holland. We are just moments away from getting underway. Rufus Brevik, quick question on Declan Rice. Been linked with a move to Manchester United. For me, I feel like it might be a bit soon for him to make that move. They're talking about 50 or 60 million. Is he worth it, do you think? Is this an audition for him?
Well, I think he's one of them players that he's going to have loads of clubs after him because of the way he's been at West Ham. I would say stay at West Ham for another year and build your reputation.
He's in midfield alongside the skipper and Hammers veteran Mark Noble, as well as Manuel Lanzini for West Ham, who's been out injured for so much of this campaign. The story of West Ham's season, the story of their recent seasons. West Ham United, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manuel Pellegrini share a handshake and a hug on the touchline. Manuel Pellegrini has a very good record against Manchester United. Of course, he's been Manchester City manager for the majority of his games against this club. Of all the managers who have faced United 5 times or more in the Premier League, only Pep Guardiola has a higher win ratio against the Red Devils. 57% of times he's played them, he has beaten them. West Ham will kick off here. They kick from right to left in this first half, wearing their light grey third strip shirts and shorts. socks with sky blue socks. United kick from left to right in his first half. Red shirts fading into black shorts and red socks. Defending early doors here, Manchester United. Throw in for West Ham, won by Arthur Masuaku, who's certainly fallen out of favour in recent times under Manuel Pellegrini. Aaron Cresswell has been the starting left back and has captained the side a few times in recent weeks as well. He's out with a knee problem this evening. A free kick here for West Ham, won by Robert Snodgrass. Referee Graham Scott has given the foul.
Yeah, and I think this is where West Ham can capitalise, because they've got Snodgrass, who's got good delivery into the box, and they've got all the big players in there. Set pieces are going to be important for West Ham this evening.
Certainly an excellent deliverer of the ball. Robert Snodgrass over this with Felipe Anderson. He's chipped it down the left channel. They tried to work something special there towards Lanzini. Didn't quite work out. Good challenge on Mata though by Masuaku. Space to shoot here, Masuaku does for West Ham, but it's always rising from the Hammers fullback. It just opened up for him there.
It did open up to him. It came to him and no one closed him down. There wasn't a Manchester United that just backed off, and he's had a look and he's shot high and over the bar.
A bad start though from West Ham United, who, as we mentioned, have been awful travellers in the Premier League in 2019. Bizarre though, because before the turn of the calendar year they'd won at Fulham, they won at Southampton, they were very good on the road. How can that happen with a team?
I don't know whether it's confidence. You lose a game and all of a sudden you dip in confidence, and then the next game you're looking to win, then you lose again, and you're just searching for that win. And it's unbelievable they haven't won away from home since the turn of the year.
That is the story for West Ham, and that is why Manuel Pellegrini finds himself under a bit of pressure at the moment. I know Samir Nasri, by the way, got injured at half-time against Chelsea on Monday when he was supposed to be coming on, so he is not in the side today. Andy Carroll, long-term out. Yarmolenko, long-term out. Wilshere, long-term out. Has had some issues to deal with, Manuel Pellegrini.
It's unbelievable the amount of injuries that they've picked up, West Ham.
Well, it seems to be the case with this club though, for whatever reason. Not sure whether they built London Stadium on a pet cemetery or something, I'm not sure. Maybe they did. Either way, the luck continues to be out. But they've started well here. Long ball out to Martial from United around the halfway line. He couldn't control it. It's a throw-in to be taken by Zabaleta into Felipe Anderson, top scorer this season, another that hasn't really been at the races in 2019. His ball forward is intercepted there by Jones. Jones then volleys it back towards Smalling, who leaves it for De Gea. Wasn't a good ball back from the England centre-half. Cleared from Balbuena into Jesse Lingard. Lovely control on the chest by Lingard. Behind him is Mata, then Lukaku, challenge Masuaku. Out on the right-hand side is Dalot. Cross deflected, may well be going in. Caught though by Fabianski. Had to take it out over the end line there, the West Ham goalkeeper, and would you believe it, has gone down with an injury before the corner can be taken.
Yeah, as the ball came in there, as he's tried to stop the ball from going out, he's caught the ball, and it looks like he's just landed on his ankle and maybe twisted his ankle. He's pulled up there and he's down having treatment, but he's okay.
Does seem like he will be okay for this corner to now come in. Juan Mata is the man over it, just waiting for the all clear to whip this ball into the penalty area. Graham Scott, the referee, now having a word with Robert Snodgrass and Paul Pogba in the 6-yard box. Smalling and Angelo Ogbonna also very close by. Ogbonna is one of those centre-halves that will hold the attacker. As Mata's ball is in, it's away by Balbuena as far as Fred. Blocked by Zabaleta. And then turned forward again by United. Cleared away by Ogbonna as far as Hernandez, who leaves it for Lanzini. Fired forward by Marcus Rocco there. And Lanzini can now bring West Ham forward. Approaching the penalty area. Looks right for Mark Noble. Noble has Zabaleta on the overlap, trying to find him, but it was well read by Fred.
And this is where West Ham will get joy on the counter-attack, driving forward there, and it was Zabaleta who's trying to get past Noble, and he just couldn't get the pass to him. It's gone for a throw into West Ham.
Taken on the far side by Zabaleta. It's into Mark Noble, who won't get a free kick for that. And Fred can bring Manchester United up the field. Outside of him now is Martial. Zabaleta out of position. Declan Rice has got to hold up Martial on that far side. Zabaleta finally has recovered. Noble with a sliding challenge to win it back for West Ham. Helped out by Felipe Anderson up to Hernandez. Anderson continues his run. And he couldn't be found there by Javier Hernandez, who for a second looked like he might have a pass on there to Anderson.
Yeah, he just delayed his pass a little bit. He had a touch, and his second touch allowed, I think it was Smalling to get in and block it.
5 minutes gone here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, West Ham United 0. Throw in from Zabaleta, flicked on by Hernandez, straight to Paul Pogba, allowing the Frenchman to pick out a pass from distance, looking for the run of Mata, intercepted well by Balbuena. West Ham certainly starting better than they did on Monday against Chelsea, where the Blues could really have been out of sight in the first half. Tough run of games for Manuel Pellegrini. Masuaku being forced back towards the halfway by Dalot. Lovely turn, but then a poor touch sees him dispossessed by Pogba. Looks in field to Lingard, then to his left is Juan Mata in the centre circle. Looks left, trying to find Martial. Well read by Zabaleta. Manchester United not quite sharp in the opening 7 minutes, and now Zabaleta has been found.
Yeah, they're not. West Ham didn't think they were going to see a lot of the ball, but his first 5-6 minutes, they've seen a lot of the ball, and Zabaleta there trying to drive forward, didn't really have the pace to outrun Martial. Just stopped, and Martial's bumped into him, and a free kick on the halfway line.
Balbuena will take this for West Ham. A short ball onto Mark Noble. I'm not too sure why Noble wants it there. It's gone right to Zabaleta, then back to Balbuena. Into the feet of Hernandez. Nice ball right to Felipe Anderson, but Anderson let it run to Zabaleta, and it will be cleared away. Interesting that Anderson should be on the right-hand side for the opening 7-8 minutes here. Usually is out on this near. That's where Robert Snodgrass is now. He's run forward. Lanzini tried to find a ball to him. It was intercepted. Pogba plays a lovely ball forward to Mata, but then Lingard becomes the latest player to miss control in a good area. Zabaleta wins it back and looks upfield towards Hernandez. Never going to win it in the air from Smalling and Jones, who combine to bring Manchester United forward. Diogo Dalot, tough ball for him to control, but he's done well. Into Smalling, then Pogba, then Jones. Back to the United captain, David De Gea. Smartly done by Manchester United. Pogba up to the halfway. It's right to Dalot. Outside of him is Jesse Lingard. Into Pogba again. Snodgrass for company, trying to turn away from him. Snodgrass holding him so tight he's actually pulled Pogba's glove off. Frenchman still finds a nice crossfield ball, looking for Martial. Back towards Rocco. Then towards Lingard from Fred. Mata then looks down the left channel. Overlapping run being made. Rocco in field to Martial. He looks to find Mata, but it's well read by Declan Rice. Wants a pass forward, there isn't one for him. So he looks right for Felipe Anderson, then Balbuena. First time upfield to Javier Hernandez, who, well, he goes down. He always looks for the foul, Javier Hernandez, and Chris Smalling was suckered into it.
Yeah, he was. The ball's got played up to him. All he had to do was just stand up, Smalling, and he's just edged into his back, and Hernandez is always going to go down straight in front of the referee, and the referee's blown for a free kick.
West Ham are certainly starting competitively here against Manchester United. Find themselves, as things stand, in the Premier League, out of those Champions League places, 6th at the start of play, behind Arsenal and Chelsea and Tottenham, who won earlier in the day. Anderson down the right wing here for West Ham to Zabaleta, then Hernandez does well to get away from two. Looks cross field, it's far too strong for Snodgrass, but is recovered by Masuaku. And down the line here is Manuel Lanzini. Into Snodgrass, left to Masuaku, cross comes in, trying to find Hernandez, who heads it. Felipe Anderson then volleys it, but he's got to be offside, and he is offside from close range. Good play from West Ham, and Felipe Anderson had just strayed beyond the last defender.
It was fantastic play, and it was Lanzini just played it to Snodgrass, who then played it out wide to Masuaku, who put a good cross in. And Hernandez, was he onside?
On that replay, I would say Felipe Anderson was being played onside by Diogo Dalot, and that should be 1-0 to West Ham. In a VAR world, that is the score. And often, Rufus, we have had this conversation many times, when those decisions come, they tend to favour the bigger side, the home side.
Yeah, they do, and West Ham, looking at that, will feel a little bit hard done by. They're not 1-0 up.
On the ball, though, West Ham with the man who maybe should have opened the scoring, Felipe Anderson here, into Mark Noble, right to Zabaleta. Pablo Zabaleta running in field. This will be worrying for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They were outplayed by Watford here a few weeks ago as well, in a game they won. On the balance of play, probably shouldn't have done. Mark Noble there thinks he was fouled a couple of times, not given by the assistant referee, and Fred can bring United clear. He finds a lovely ball to Juan Mata, diagonal on the floor, right to Dalot here, midway inside West Ham territory. Cross comes in, good delivery, but just too high for Juan Mata, and gathered by Fabianski of West Ham.
That's when they've got to be careful, West Ham, when they're going forward, because we know that Manchester United, when they get the ball forward, they've got pace up front that can cause damage. Well,
I'm sure there'll be further views of that West Ham goal that wasn't given in the next few minutes or so, and we'll get some clarification as to whether he was offside or not. But on the replay we've seen, just the one so far, looks like it should have been given. At the other end, West Ham are coming defending here, United coming forward. Lukaku here, lovely ball by Lukaku, whipped in towards the back post. Martial had made a darting run, but it's over the Frenchman's head, and it will be a goal kick to West Ham.
Yeah, Lukaku on this right hand side, a couple of step overs, the cross of the back stick a little bit too heavy, and Zabaleta just let it run over his head and out for a goal kick.
Well, the goal that wasn't has certainly, it seems, sparked Manchester United into life. Rufus, we're getting a freeze frame right now of that Felipe Anderson effort. What's your view, having seen it again?
Well, it's looking like he's probably just onside. It looks like he's just onside, and the linesman is in a very good position. He's looking right at it along the line, but he's put his flag up.
Yeah, Chris has tweeted to @TalkSport Live saying it looks like Dalot kept Anderson on. Have we seen a better angle than what he has seen? We have seen many replays now, and we feel pretty confident it should have gone in. They should have counted.
It's a good start from West Ham, though. They've started very lively and looking like they're playing with a lot of confidence as well.
Which is surprising, considering there's no reason at all for West Ham to have come into this game with a great deal of confidence. Haven't won here since Carlos Tevez scored that winner over a decade ago. Did put in some good showings here during the 2016 campaign when Dimitri Payet was starring for them. Good interception there by Phil Jones. United playing quite a high line there, which is a risk against Javier Hernandez. Jones read it well that time. Pumped up field by De Gea, and Buena lost it, struck him on the back, and it's broken to Martial. Martial's pass, though, very poor, intercepted by Declan Rice, and he's released Felipe Anderson round the back of the fullback, who's gone walkabout, and Lanzini screaming for it here. Crossfield ball brilliantly intercepted by Paul Pogba, and he's actually going to run past Lanzini to gather it on this near side. It might not be what he's famous for, but that was fantastic from Paul Pogba.
That was brilliant, and he's got back, done his defensive work, and he's just put Manchester United on the attack from that defensive play.
It's going to be a nice end-to-end open start here for the neutrals, at least, as Rocco is found on the left-hand side. Deep cross comes in, Masuaku's chest. For a second there, I didn't think Fabianski would come for that. Lingard was sniffing. Long throw from Fabianski, intercepted by Jones, who's then gone sprawling to the ground under challenge from Felipe Anderson. All the way through to Fabianski. Nearly 15 minutes played here, and it's Manchester United 0, West Ham United 0. Clearly onside, says Graham on Twitter, @TalkSport Live, the place to get in touch. Jay Weezy, good name, said he's hoping for a Manchester United win. Listening to us in Ghana, @TalkSport Live, the place to get in touch with Rufus and me this evening.
I mean, this first 15 minutes, Manchester United haven't really started, and the ball's getting played up, poor ball up front, it's getting cut out, and it's setting West Ham on the counter-attack every single time.
West Ham losing 3 of their past 4, all by a 2-0 scoreline, including Monday night at Chelsea. Not won against the Big Six away from home in 19 matches. Dreadful record for the various managers across that time. But they started well here. Ogbonna, being chased down by Lukaku, finds a pass to Lanzini. And Manuel Lanzini, that's a loose one to Smalling. Here's Fred. Great ball cross-field right to Lukaku. Up against Masuaku. Slipped into Jesse Lingard. Across the face of goal from Lingard. Too fast for Mata. Recovered by Martial. Martial on the left against Zabaleta. Behind him is Marcus Rocco. Delivered in. Away by Bonner. Hernandez running back to get West Ham back on it. Does really well and finds a ball forward to Felipe Anderson as well. Again, West Ham getting bodies forward. Again, Hernandez makes a run. Well read by Marcus Rocco that time. Got all the way back. Heads the ball to Phil Jones, who then lobs it over Snodgrass's shoulder and finds a ball forward.
Hernandez, when he laid it off there to Lanzini, he only had one thought in his mind, and that was to drive forward. And Lanzini very nearly found him with the pass over the top.
Rocco down the line, left channel to Anthony Martial, just over that halfway line. Back infield and behind them to Jones, then Smalling. Of course, Manchester United playing after their game in Europe this week, winless in their last 4 Premier League games immediately following a European fixture this season, losing at Man City, Liverpool and Arsenal, drawing at Southampton as well in that time. Made the 5 changes from midweek. Lingard coming forward here. Outside of him is Martial, running at Zabaleta, corner of the area. Cuts in field, finds Mata. Good challenge by Robert Snodgrass. Anderson though loses it on the far side for West Ham. Morocco has won it, and it's into Martial, and he turns away from his man, and he looks in field for Mata, and Snodgrass has bundled him over, and Graham Scott has given Manchester United a penalty. Robert Snodgrass is saying it wasn't in the area. I think there's plenty of West Ham players who are saying it's not even a foul.
Well, I mean, Martial's done well there in the box. He just laid it out. And Snodgrass has come from the side and he has caught him, and it is just inside the area. And the referee is looking right at it and he's pointed to the spot.
Well, just like against Watford here, United have barely been in the opening 15-20 minutes or so. But just like in that game, they're going to get the chance to take the lead. And the penalty will be taken here by Paul Pogba. It was around 28 minutes against Watford when they took the lead. We're 10 minutes before that here, when he scored 3 of his last 5 penalties, Paul Pogba. Wonder if we will see the baby step run up for this one.
I think we will. And he's had to wait a while before he's taking this penalty. His ball in his hand.
Going into this weekend, Lucas Fabianski had made more saves in the Premier League than any other goalkeeper. Chance for another here against Paul Pogba from 12 yards. We are finally ready for the Frenchman against the Pole in the Premier League. It's Pogba up against Fabianski from 12 yards. And he sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, Paul Pogba, and Manchester United have the lead on 19 minutes. It's a fine penalty from Paul Pogba. It's a lead they barely deserve, but they've got it. It's 1-0.
Yes, and with the penalty there was no messing about. Took about 3 steps, ran up, smashed it to the goalkeeper's right. Goalkeeper went the wrong way. 1-0.
Referee Graham Scott is now coming over to have a word with Manuel Pellegrini, who is still furious about the goal that should have been given. And I don't think he's too happy about the penalty that's been given against his side either. It looked like a penalty to us, but certainly one that if it wasn't given, I'm not sure there'd have been too much complaint about it. What about this from Pogba? It's now 12 goals and 9 assists in the Premier League this season. What a fantastic campaign it's been numbers-wise for him. Though, of course, talk that he might not be here next season.
Yeah.
He'll certainly look better this campaign.
He has, and he looks more influential as well. And his work rate, as we just saw 5 minutes ago, tracking back, has been very good.
Here's Martial now looking to take advantage of a West Ham side who have certainly been rocked by some poor decisions from their perspective. Good challenge though from Declan Rice to find Felipe Anderson, and Lanzini now will take over the halfway, right to Rice, onto Zabaleta, 2 in the box to aim for here. Noble in support of Pablo Zabaleta, who chips it in over Hernandez's head, very nearly went to Felipe Anderson. Jesse Lingard got a vital touch there, goes back to Masuaku. Left to Felipe Anderson, who's drifting all around the field here for West Ham. Lovely back heel to Masuaku, good ball in, just ahead of Mark Noble and Javier Hernandez, who were in the penalty area. 20 minutes gone, Manchester United 1, West Ham United 0.
Yeah, Anderson, little back flick. It was a decent ball in from Masuaku, but it was just ahead of everyone else. Everyone running into the box and went out the other side for a throw-in.
West Ham continue to play positively here at Old Trafford. It isn't Manuel Pellegrini's way to go into any game and try and 4-5-1 his way through it. But it hasn't led to many results in recent weeks. Poor ball upfield by Rocco, straight to Robert Snodgrass, gets West Ham back on it again. Control by Snodgrass on the chest. They've worked it back to Ogbonna on the halfway, but his ball forward to Lanzini was misplaced, and Lanzini again just not that sharp at the moment, having been out for so long, and I think maybe playing a bit too much football as well, having just come back from that long-term injury. But they've got no one else at the moment who can play,
and that's the problem when someone's been out for a long time. You want to drip feed them in. It's difficult when you've got so many injuries.
West Ham win it back again from a poor ball forward from United. Crossed by Zabaleta, that's got to be a high boot from Pogba. Snodgrass won the header, but Pogba's boot was right up near the face of Robert Snodgrass, who has stayed down here. He is a bit like that, Robert Snodgrass, trying to milk it a little bit, but it is a clear high boot and a clear infringement.
Yeah, it was. I don't think he caught him that much, but he's gone down Snodgrass. He's going to be okay, and it's a free kick to West Ham.
Free kick is within shooting range. Manuel Lanzini, Robert Snodgrass is okay and up to want to get involved in this one. No Dimitri Payet these days. Aaron Cresswell, another who might have fancied it, but not on the field at the moment.
Lanzini and Anderson are looking at this.
Has scored direct from a free kick this season, Felipe Anderson, Wimbledon away, during that embarrassing FA Cup defeat. Lanzini's the man who's placed it down. Graham Scott marking out the wall. We're seeing the dying days of when attacking players can be in the wall. That is banned from next season. At the moment there is 3 West Ham bodies all cajoling and pushing around with the Manchester United players in that wall. Anderson and Lanzini over this one. Centre of the pitch, about 30 yards from goal. Left to Lanzini, who hits it off the top of the wall and over the crossbar for a West Ham corner.
Yeah, he saw what he tried to do, tried to just get it up and over the wall. It's a decent strike, hit the top of the wall and got over the bar for a corner.
I tell you what, that may have well hit the raised arm there of Paul Pogba, who looked to protect his face. Once again, when you're in a VAR world, that is probably a penalty or a free kick, depending on where he was standing. That might have been a penalty, as the wall should have been in the area.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it was in the box, and as it came off him, he was definitely in the box.
Next season, it may well be 1-1 and a West Ham penalty. Instead, it's 1-0 to Man United, and a corner to the Hammers. Whipped in by Snodgrass, could have gone anywhere there. I think it hit the head of Diogo Dalot last, and has gone for another corner.
Well, as it's come over, I don't think he knew much about it. It could easily have gone into his own net.
Robert Snodgrass again with another chance to whip this ball in from the attacking left-hand side. Have been a real threat from corners, have West Ham this season, usually when Snodgrass has taken them. Ball in towards Felipe Anderson, who's won it, flashed it right across the face. No one turned it home at the back post, and then Balbuena has given the ball away to Fred, who then finds Lingard. Good challenge by Zabaleta. Return ball, first time from Fred, was very bright, but Lingard hadn't quite recovered from the challenge, and West Ham are back on.
Yeah, and that's that's what Manchester United can do. They break really quick, as they did then with Lingard. Heavy touch, allowed Zabaleta to get the tackle in.
Here's Paul Pogba out left to Martial, into Pogba again. Then Fred, a few yards over the halfway left-hand side. Return ball to Fred from Martial, now running forward. A few step overs, but Declan Rice isn't sold. Good challenge from the reported Manchester United summer target. Fred replacement, if he were to come in. Sure, he cost the same amount of money, maybe more.
I'm sure there won't just be Manchester United looking at Declan Rice in the summer.
A player who recently signed a new contract at West Ham. One they'll be very keen to keep, as Javi Hernandez wins another free kick off Smalling on the halfway.
And Hernandez, he does that really well. He just waits, feels the contact, and then goes down and wins a free kick. He does that really well.
Well, there's a few West Ham fans getting in touch, asking whether officials have a campaign against them this season. Brawley has been in touch, saying first Man City get a terrible penalty, Liverpool score an offside goal, and now this. Well, it could be getting worse for West Ham, as the ball is slipped down the line for Lukaku here in the area. Back to Pogba, doesn't shoot, does now, blocked by Bonner, breaks back to him again, recovered well by Pogba, forward by Martial, flicked by Lingard, who is given offside. That was a very enterprising play from Manchester United.
Yeah, it was a good play from Lukaku, who just laid it on the edge of the box, and Pogba probably should have had a shot straight away. He had a touch, and when he's had that touch, he's lost the chance to get the strike off.
Seeing a replay on our monitors here of that chance from West Ham, and there's a shout that Manuel Lanzini was the man who was meant to be turning that ball home at the back post, and he was pulled by the neck from Phil Jones, preventing him from putting that ball in. We're getting the replay of it now. I mean, Rufus, again, that's a penalty next year.
It's a penalty, and you know, if he's dragged him by the neck, pulled him back, it's a simple tapping for him from 2 or 3 yards, and he's been pulled back and denied the chance.
28 minutes gone. It's Manchester United 1, West Ham United 0. Paul Pogba's penalty on 19 minutes, separating the two teams at the moment. Not been vintage United so far, but at the moment they are getting the job done. As things stand, they will be climbing above Arsenal into 5th in the table, remaining behind Chelsea in 4th. But West Ham coming forward. Snodgrass here with a low cross, trying to find Mike Noble, intercepted by Jones. United forward on the floor to Pogba, then Mata, left to Martial on the halfway. West Ham certainly leaving spaces for Manchester United. They are looking to get forward. Rocco forward into Pogba on that far side. Back to Fred, forward now to the Mexican fullback, down the line towards Lukaku, who's rolled away from Balbuena, and he puts the crossover into Dalot. Mata wants it, Dalot wants the shot himself, takes the shot and spoons it over the top.
Yeah, it's good control. Again, it's Lukaku who just rolled Balbuena. He's gone down the line, he's whipped the ball in. Good control by Dalot, and he's tried to just curl it into the top corner, got it all wrong, went over the ball.
Just approaching the 29th minute here, 1-0 to Manchester United. West Ham have had 51% possession at Old Trafford. That's not something you see too often from away sides here. United, though, 5 shots to West Ham's 4. The Hammers yet to hit the target, which has been such a big problem for them in recent weeks and months on the road. Fair to say the luck has been against the away side, certainly this evening as well.
Yeah, and as you say, they've seen a lot of the ball. West Ham have not really been that effective once they've got in the final third.
Except the time they scored. That wasn't given. Here's Lukaku for Manchester United, right to Dalot. Low ball in. Certainly questions about Dalot's defending. That cross was blocked, but going forward, he certainly looks a threatening figure on the right-hand side.
Yeah, he does get forward, and normally he has got decent delivery once he gets there. On that occasion, was blocked by Masuaku.
Dalot goes back to Fred from the throw-in. Ball back towards the halfway line by Manchester United. Jones to Rocco. A little high boot there. Maybe should have been given against Rocco, not this time, has been recovered by West Ham, and Zabaleta, his chip cross field is rather aimless. Dalot gets back on it. Header forward though, straight to Arthur Masuaku of West Ham. Into Robert Snodgrass, back to Declan Rice. How tough is it, Rufus, in a game like this where you know you've been hard done by, to recover and continue to play well?
Well, it's just important that you keep your concentration, to keep your focus, because it's very easy to just put your head down, especially at a place like this at Manchester United. You know, you can't give them any leg ups, and you know, you've just got to keep playing. They've started really well, West Ham.
Just can't get round the back of that Manchester United defence. Again, they give the ball away, but a good challenge on Pogba from Mark Noble. Wants a free kick against Pogba as Mark Noble. Again, Graham Scott unmoved by West Ham appeals. Pogba then runs into trouble in the shape of 3 West Ham players. Loses out. He wants a free kick, and again, the referee says no. West Ham on it with Mark Noble in the right back area around the halfway line. Zabaleta again has gone gallivanting upfield. Felipe Anderson clips it to the other side, and Lanzini forward to Masuaku up against Dalot. Gets around him and cuts it back nicely. That's a brilliant interception there by Jones. Recovered by Anderson, then Snodgrass, then Mark Noble crosses in over everyone's head though, and it's really good play from Fred, calm under pressure, to chest back to the goalkeeper.
Masuaku has done well on this left-hand side when he's got into crossing positions. His little ball there, low and hard, and I think it was one of the Manchester United centre-halves had just got a foot to it and broke it down.
Why didn't Mark Noble shoot there though? It's come to him in that space. You've got to hit it, haven't you?
I think he's got to hit it straight away. You're not going to have time in the box.
Declan Rice has won it from Lukaku on the edge of the West Ham penalty area as Martial played it into the Belgian striker. And West Ham will carry the ball forward again. Lanzini into Declan Rice. On to Mark Noble, who looks out on the right wing to Felipe Anderson, who's looked effective on the right in this game. Got players in the box to aim for here. He's running at Martial, the Brazilian. Now we're ready to go, so he looks behind him to Mark Noble. Noble then looks in field to Declan Rice. Not a great ball to Rice, but he's dealt with it well. Spinning in the air towards him. Left to Masuaku, into Balbuena. Back to Felipe Anderson again. Certainly had a real impact in this game, Felipe Anderson. Into him again from Mark Noble. They have been accused this year, West Ham, of only turning up in the big games against the big opponents. Of course, beating United already this season. Drawing against Chelsea at home, beating Arsenal. And generally playing well in the bigger games, but not turning up against the likes of Cardiff and Huddersfield Town. Certainly been proven out here. They played very well for 33 minutes. Trailing 1-0 though.
They're playing really well. Manchester United are not really closing them down. They're just sitting off them and letting them play in front of them.
Chip down the right channel towards Zabaleta. Martial is with him. Martial then went down looking for a free kick. Once again, it's not been given by the officials, who are allowing a lot of these debatable fouls to go unpunished.
Yeah, and that's right in front of the linesman, who just pointed for a corner. Martial was looking for the free kick, didn't get it.
Got a corner here for West Ham on the attacking right-hand side. Again, Snodgrass is over it. That's a good ball in. Jones heads away. Zabaleta volleys forward. Recovered by Masuaku after the shot was blocked. So Snodgrass on the right. Running at Juan Mata. Robert Snodgrass running into trouble. And now Mata can bring United clear. Looking upfield towards Jesse Lingard. Really good ball towards Lingard. Luckily for West Ham, Masuaku's got some pace to get there first. More play upfield to Mark Noble, who's then caught late by Juan Mata. Ball was long gone there, and Juan Mata is going to be the first man yellow carded from the referee today.
He's not known for his tackling, Juan Mata, and as Noble's got the ball, he's just played it and he's come sliding in. He's caught him on his ankle. It's a definite yellow card.
Well, Juan Mata sliding in there on Mark Noble, getting a yellow card. But once again, West Ham were looking to get forward quickly, and maybe Man United weren't quite expecting West Ham to be playing in this way in this game.
They're playing with a lot of confidence. I said it earlier. They're playing with a lot of confidence, and seeing a lot of the ball, West Ham.
Just wonder what the next 18 months or so holds for West Ham United. Could really go either way for them under Manuel Pellegrini. Robert Snodgrass here found diagonal. He thinks he's been fouled by Smalling, not been given. Smalling then has played a ball into Fred, which could have put him in trouble. Noble was sniffing around, but he's knocked it back to De Gea, who goes long. Flicked on by Lukaku. Masuaku recovers it for the Hammers. Lingard is with him, he's turned away and outside. Then back to Ogbonna, who's got a clear first time. Hernandez would have been offside, so Jones can bring it down and look forward towards Pogba. 35 minutes gone here, 1-0 to United. Manchester United, Ellis. Here's Mata. Oh, a lovely skill to get away from Lanzini. Corner of the area, chips the ball in, dangerous too. Fabianski is there. Martial just beat him to it, but it was really wide of the 6-yard box. All he could do was poke it towards goal and wide of goal.
You've seen what Mata can do on the ball there. He just knocked the ball past Lanzini, and it's an in-swinging cross, and it's just getting in there, and it's right at the back stick, and it's Martial that just couldn't get there. Tried to flick it back in. It's just gone over the bar with his flick.
Tom has been in touch on @TalkSport Live saying 3 bad decisions going the way of Manchester United. Things getting ridiculous now. Tom is a Chelsea fan. Keep him coming in to @TalkSport Live. Long ball towards Hernandez from West Ham into Mark Noble. Again, just not quick enough from Mark Noble, but he has found Felipe Anderson. Zabaleta overlapping 4 in the box to aim for. Cross though was intercepted by United. Rocco and Fred in towards Pogba. Ball down by Felipe Anderson as Pogba looked to bring that away.
You'd like to see, as the ball's got played into Hernandez, he's knocked it down. Noble's right on the edge of the box. He's just got to have a shot, and he's had a touch, played it out wide. I'd like to see him try and get more shots in. They're good opportunities to today.
If it's not from 12 yards out from the penalty spot, he's a rare scorer, Mark Noble. Despite his near 15 years in the West Ham first team. Ball is with Fred in the centre circle. Flip right to Dalot, midway inside the West Ham half. Good forward ball into Lukaku, back heel to Lingard. Lovely play by United. Lingard's gone down, wanting a penalty off of Ogbonna. Would have been very generous if that was given. West Ham recover it on the halfway. Again, Hernandez was fouled. Jesse Lingard and Angelo Ogbonna having words. Ogbonna accusing Jesse Lingard of diving. We'll need a replay of that to see exactly what happened. Didn't seem like there was too much in it first viewing.
I don't think there was anything in that, to be fair.
Just 2 players rather running into each other in the area. Anderson's given the ball away sloppily, and Pogba can release Lukaku, who's got space here to exploit. Cross is blocked. It's going to break to Martial. Edge of the area, Martial. Outside of him, there is a runner in Mata. It goes back to Pogba. Forward to Fred. Fred can shoot here. Well, he certainly could shoot. Not sure I'd have recommended it. Miles over that time.
Yeah, it's good play there, and Fred's got the ball, and again, no one really closed him down. He decided to have the shot, didn't catch it right at all. It flew over the ball.
Well, I tell you, we're seeing a replay here on our monitors. So Jesse Lingard went down looking for the penalty, wasn't given, and Angelo Ogbonna, veteran Italian defender, got right in his face, head to head there as well. That's inadvisable from the West Ham defender, absolutely. Pointing in Lingard's face as well. And I tell you what, if Jesse Lingard had been inclined, he could have maybe gone to ground there, made a bit of a meal of that.
He's literally put his finger, his hand in his face, Jesse Lingard, and he's just brushing it away. I'd really like to see that. And again, it was just a coming together. I don't think he dived, just a coming together.
Approaching 40 minutes gone here, West Ham are in possession in their own penalty area. Ball from Fabianski into Declan Rice, who's got to be careful here. He's got away from Fred, and he has managed to get away from Lingard as well. Forward to Lanzini, 2 players around him. United pressing high. Lingard has done well to stick to Lanzini, who turned him inside then out. Challenges for a throw. Well, it's a weird old game, isn't it? It's going to be a weird old half-time for Pellegrini and Solskjaer, because the team that are losing will probably say, continue as you are, and the team that are winning will say, you've got to improve.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, West Ham seeing a lot of the ball, and Masuaku, I think he's done really well this, for the first 40 minutes defensively and going down this left-hand side. He's got a couple of good balls into the box. You know, can they capitalise on it, West Ham?
Oh, it's an awful ball from Lanzini, ahead of Noble, straight to Martial. Martial, lovely diagonal ball on the ground to Lukaku. Gets an early shot away. Blocked by Angelo Ogbonna, who'd read the run. Lanzini with an arm of apology to Mark Noble after he played the pass. It really was not a good ball into him. Will be a corner to United with 5 minutes until the whistle.
Yeah, it was a poor ball from Lanzini. And it was nearly capitalised from Manchester United.
Could still make West Ham pay. On the far side, Juan Mata is over this one. 4 in the box to aim for at the back post. One at the near towards Smalling, who's won it. Free header from Chris Smalling from 12 yards over the top. Not for the first time in recent weeks. West Ham simply cannot mark from a corner.
Yeah, and it got away from Ogbonna. Started at the back stick, then peeled inside. There's a free header. Couldn't get it on target. Went over the bar.
Manchester United winning this one. Oh, a decent run against West Ham historically, only against Fulham, Leeds and Arsenal. United on a longer unbeaten run against anyone than West Ham. 10 games without losing against the Hammers at Old Trafford. Of course, did lose at London Stadium earlier this year. But here, West Ham have not done well in recent years, as Zabaleta is fouled there by Rocco. I think Zabaleta is asking if there should be a yellow card for the United fullback. There probably should be as well, but it's not been given. It's not a good challenge.
No, it's not a good challenge. He's gone in, Rojo, and he's just caught him as the ball's gone past him. But again, it's in a good area for West Ham. Got good delivery on this ball.
Anderson and Snodgrass are over it. Robert Snodgrass asking if Juan Mata is 10 yards away. Not too sure that he is. The assistant doesn't want to get involved. They're going to work the angle here, West Ham. Ball in from Anderson. Headed by Balbuena. Oh, and Marcus Rocco at the back stick. Swung his leg at it. Looked a bit ring rusty there, did the fullback. Goes out for a corner to West Ham when it should have been an easy clearance.
Oh, that could have gone anywhere. And he's watched the ball all the way. And he's just come off the side of his foot. It's gone out for a corner.
Just his second start in the Premier League this season, having been injured for so much of this campaign. Corner to West Ham. Snodgrass is with it. Good delivery again towards Rice, who's won it. Flicked it on towards Ogbonna. Recovered back to Mark Noble. Cross comes in. Away by Smalling. Ogbonna wins it back again for West Ham. Felipe Anderson, edge of the area. Snapshot from the Brazilian. Got hold of it nicely, but it's always rising. Goal kick.
Yeah, it was. And good. Kept the ball in play there, West Ham, and it came to Anderson. And I think he's trying to drive it across the goalkeeper. He's just come off the side of his foot and flown over the bar.
Well, again, West Ham are causing problems, creating chances, but not Rufus finding the back of the net.
No, and that's the difference between the two sides at the minute. Obviously, Manchester United have scored that goal from the penalty, but West Ham keep knocking on the door.
6 attempts from West Ham, and the majority of possession, 55%. I'd hazard a guess it's as good as they've played here in 10 years. And yet they are losing. Lanzini now coming forward, though, trying to stop that from being the case. Forward to Snodgrass, back to Lanzini in the area. Bit of skill to get away from Pogba. Left to Masuaku, away from Pogba again. Then Lanzini in the area. Behind him is Mark Noble. Noble's delivery in towards Anderson, well away by Rocco. Mata then wins it in the area, helps it forward, but no one's there for United. Recovered by Declan Rice on the right-hand side. Into Felipe Anderson, back to Declan Rice again. Down the line to Zabaleta, helped on to Noble, blocked by Martial, throw into West Ham.
Manchester United find themselves 1-0 up, but they haven't turned up. It's all West Ham. They're controlling this game.
Mark Noble, behind him is Felipe Anderson. Lovely turn of pace to get away from Fred. He's on the end line, right-hand side. Low ball comes in, blocked by David De Gea. First time he's been called into action.
Again, they go around the back. Anderson, low and odd. And De Gea saved his feet.
Throwing comes in from Anderson, well intercepted by Martial. Drag back turn as well to get away from his opposite number, and he carries United to the halfway, and he's passed straight to Mark Noble. Well, what an awful ball that was. So often the story for United in this half. Here's Anderson, cross comes in, blocked by Jones. He's let it run behind him, and I think West Ham are saying that's got to be a back pass to David De Gea. Not given, you rarely see the back pass given.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tired cross from Anderson there. You know, he's worked so hard just a minute before to get round the back, played it to the near post, and again it was safe from De Gea with his feet.
West Ham coming forward again here, but Lanzini has been blocked by Pogba, who's left Snodgrass on his backside as he streaks away with the ball. It's out left to Mata, infield to Pogba. Pogba return ball to Juan Mata on the left-hand side. Mata's cross towards the back post, he's over Lukaku. Martial over on this near side now to recover it. Ogbonna is with him, Masuaku is with him, challenged by Ogbonna. Actually been kept on by Masuaku, who's blasted it upfield. This morning though beats Javier Hernandez to it, and 1 minute to play at the end of this half has just been shown. Jones into Fred, Noble chasing him down, back to Smalling, given away once again by Manchester United, into Lanzini, then Noble, then Lanzini. If West Ham are to score, it's got to be now, but the ball from Lanzini to Hernandez was rushed, maybe because of the time limits on this half, and it's all the way through to De Gea. And Rufus, before the whistle goes, try and sum up this half for me.
Well, Manchester United find themselves 1-0 up and haven't really turned up, and it's been all West Ham. They've seen a lot of the ball, but Manchester United on the break you feel as though they've got something with the three up front, with the pace they've got up front. West Ham have just got to be careful there, but it's been all West Ham, and again they've had opportunities.
Half-time whistle goes, 1-0 to United. Paul Pogba's penalty on 19 minutes, but before then West Ham had a good goal ruled out wrongly for offside, may have had a penalty themselves. We'll talk more about this half in just a few moments' time. At the break it is 1-0. You're listening to Premier League Live.
It's the sky under our clothes. The fire grows. We are ready for this life of running wild. We're running wild. Underneath the rows of trees, I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. Shining forward, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. Shining forward, the wind is cold. You must return to the a diamond from gold. Maybe you are something I cannot define. Maybe you are the fallen kind. I lay in bed with violence, the silent side of me. We see where fire starts to breathe. When I would lay in silence, the voice inside of me made me use my mind right.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain.
head again. You had your heart set on me, but these feels, they come and go, and they come so easily. Tell me what it is about you that I can't forget, but you're breaking down my walls again just to set me free. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love
Take me in the smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start looking as a lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but in the dead of the night, teardrops on the floor. The pain is over, feel the darkness take control.
You turned toward me and looked so weak. I've never seen you with such tired eyes. And everything we said we'd be, we just traded for a suit coat and a tie. And underneath the rows of trees, I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. You're shining bold, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. You're shining bold, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. Follow me down, there's no one around. Lay back and take your socks and shoes right off. That natural light is so damn polite, can make you feel just like you were young again. So I can see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under our clothes, a fire grows. We are ready for this life of running wild. We're running wild. Underneath the rows of trees, I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. You're shining bold, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. Shining bold, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild.
diamond from gold. Maybe you are
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna let it away. Tonight, we're gonna let it away. Tonight, we're gonna let it away. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna let it away. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna let it away. Tonight, we're gonna let it away. Tonight, we're gonna let it away.
Controlled it well on the chest though. And again, West Ham just not panicking in midfield, are they at all?
They're just playing around Manchester United, in midfield, just moving the ball around. They're not even closing them down, Manchester United.
Here's Arthur Masuaku running in field for West Ham. 55 minutes on the clock. It's Manchester United 1, West Ham United 1 at Old Trafford. West Ham nearly 60% possession at Old Trafford.
Well, you've seen Pogba as well, turning round and telling them to push up. push up high up the pitch to make the pitch small so they can close down in midfield. Too many big gaps for them to cover.
The answer to that, says the manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is to take Juan Mata off and replace him with Marcus Rashford. I'm sure he wouldn't have wanted to use Marcus Rashford today.
No, I'm sure he wasn't, but he's looked at it, and you know, with only 10 minutes gone,
Rashford's gone straight up front. 10 minutes in the second half gone, absolutely. Very early for a change.
It is.
Here's Lanzini on the far side. He was challenged by Smalling. Smalling then very nearly gave it straight back to Manuel Lanzini. Snodgrass has stopped the ball upfield. So that seems to have sent Lingard back into midfield, with Rashford going up through the centre and Lukaku's gone right wing.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Bit of energy from Lingard in midfield. Certainly
Yes.
Mata doesn't quite bring that.
And also the pace over the top with Rashford.
Yeah, don't really have the pace at West Ham at the heart of defence in Ogbonna and Balbuena. Issa Diop is that guy who brings the pace, but having his first run out of the first team. Issa Diop since coming in.
Has been forced to make this change because of the way West Ham are playing.
Well, here they are, they've won it again, West Ham up the field, but Javier Hernandez has then given it away to Fred. Anderson's trying to hold Fred up, but Fred's done really well, you know, to find a ball right to Lukaku, who's now running at Masuaku. Different proposition now for Masuaku to deal with. Cross from Lukaku, though, is poor, intercepted by Balbuena. And West Ham will look to break again, and look at the space again for Felipe Anderson. Just over the halfway. Ogbonna's now getting involved in the act. Back to Anderson again, just over the halfway line. West Ham players calling for it in the middle. Anderson just taking a breather on the ball, and no one's tackling him. Here's Lanzini turning away from Lingard. Good drag back from him into Snodgrass. Back to Felipe Anderson on the left. And short to Declan Rice. Away from Pogba, Declan Rice. Pogba goes to ground. Rice still going with it. Running into trouble though, Rice. He thinks he was fouled by Pogba, maybe, but should have done better there, Declan Rice, to get that ball out of his feet. And Man United could bring it clear with Pogba into Fred in the centre side. Out left to Jesse Lingard, on to Martial. Running at Pablo Zabaleta. Snodgrass over to help out. Martial being held up by Zabaleta well. Back to Fred. Into Lingard. Back to Smalling. First time United have spent some time in the West Ham half in this second period. Down into Fred. West Ham have done a lot of work with the ball in this game. Now got to do some work without it. Hasn't been your run-of-the-mill top six game against one of the rest so far, as Smalling carries it forward. Lovely ball down the right channel to Marcus Rashford. That's a really good save by Fabianski. Got down well, Fabianski, to Rashford's snapshot. It was going in, and it's cleared away by Zabaleta.
That's the threat. Smalling drives forward. Just plays a little through ball to Rashford, who timed his run well. His shot was across Fabianski. He got a good hand to it.
Very good from Rashford, wasn't it? Really good movement.
Very good movement. And his sharpness as well to get in there and get his shot off quick.
That's given United some confidence here as Lukaku looks to play in Dalot. Massively overhit from Lukaku on that far side. No chance that Dalot was going to catch it. Goes for a West Ham goal kick.
I mean, that's not a difficult pass from Lukaku. He's got to wait that pass in for Dalot to get onto.
Well, West Ham have had plenty of hits and misses when it comes to buying players in the last few seasons. I think it's fair to say that Lucas Fabianski, the top save maker in the Premier League, has been a massive hit.
That's a very, very good save, because he had to get down low and get a good hand and push it wide.
Approaching the hour mark here, Manchester United 1, West Ham United 1 is the score line. Paul Pogba's penalty in the first half cancelled out by Felipe Anderson. West Ham 10 attempts at goal at Old Trafford. Not hit the target enough though for Manuel Pellegrini's liking. Just the couple of occasions.
And Lanzini's pulled up there. He's holding his groin.
Yeah, he's played too much football, I think, Manuel Lanzini, since coming back from his injury troubles. And West Ham have already got, by my count, 11 first teamers out. Could be another one here, and that's a shame for Lanzini.
Yeah. It looks as though he's struggling there. He just pulled up. It doesn't look good for him.
Well, it doesn't seem like it's going to be anything like the return to the knee injuries he's had of late. course, had some cruciate ligament damage. Might just be his groin that took a little tweak there. And Rufus, when you're coming back from a long-term injury, that's normally one of the first things that goes.
Well, yes, and as you say, he's had a long-term injury. He's played a lot of football. It just looks as though he's just tweaked his groin there.
It was his ball from the left-hand side, which set up Felipe Anderson's equaliser for his 9th Premier League goal this season. Got onto it well, Felipe Anderson. Any question on David De Gea?
Well, as the ball come over, it's Roro that was just ball watching. He didn't even know what was behind him, and he's got beat to the post again. He'll be disappointed with that.
Manuel Lanzini here is going to try and play on here, which I'm not too sure they would be doing if there was any sort of replacement that they could bring on West Ham. Pedro Obiang is a centre midfielder, but he's more of a holding midfielder. They've got Grady Diangana, player from the youth team, who's more of an attacking right winger. Looks like he's the man who's getting stripped off here for West Ham.
Yeah, it is. He's gone on.
High ball has been won here by Hernandez. Sorry, Rufus, to cut in there, but it looked like he was going to get through from a punt upfield there.
He actually won the ball, didn't he?
And Lanzini's gone down again here. He's trying to play on. Man United do play on with West Ham temporarily down to 10. Not quite sure why he even tried to play on, really. It seems odd from West Ham to make that decision, and they might get punished here. The cross has come in, and it was dummied by Rashford, cleared away by Pablo Zabaleta at the last.
Well, he read the dummy, Zabaleta. It was Lingard that was lurking to just tap it in, but Zabaleta has read the over, and it's a good clearance from Zabaleta.
It is Grady Diangana who's come on for Manuel Lanzini, one of 3 academy products on the field for West Ham right now. Declan Rice and Mark Noble both on the field as well. Something the club will, I'm sure, be very proud of. Ball whipped him the right-hand side, away from Masuaku. Always dangerous when it comes to defending corners, West Ham. That's another good ball in. Rashford's unmarked. Oh, his header goes up in the air. Will it fall for Lukaku? Will it fall for Rashford again? It will. But he heads over the top. Rashford from 4 yards out. It was looping into him. He had to put the power on it himself and just couldn't.
Well, the first one that came over, I think it hit his shoulder as it came. He's got an header there, and I think it's hit his shoulder, looped up, and it's come back out to him.
He's offside. We're seeing the replay now. He's offside when the ball comes in.
And the linesman's there again in line, and he misses it. But this one, what is he, 4 yards out? He's got to score.
Well, if you're a West Ham fan watching this, you might be asking that official why Felipe Anderson's off and Marcus Rashford's on.
Yes.
Luckily for that official, it hasn't gone in, because that would have been a real embarrassment.
Well, again,
for him.
He's in line again.
He's in the perfect position.
Yeah, perfect position.
I don't quite understand it, really. Not sure Manuel Pellegrini would have been too forgiving either if that had gone in, as Lukaku has done brilliant to turn away from Masuaku. Not away from the challenge of Declan Rice, though. Goes up towards Javi Hernandez. I think West Ham just don't really know whether to stick or twist it. They know they've been the better side, but they also know they're at Old Trafford against Manchester United.
Yes, that's right. Ooh.
Yeah, crossfield ball there, controlled by Diangana.
It's a crossfield ball, I mean...
He thinks he's kept it on.
He did, yeah, and again, the linesman's right there, and he's looking at the linesman. But it was a good switch of play.
Interested to see Grady Diangana. Zabaleta was clattered into the back of Martial. That's definitely a foul. Sort of came through against Macclesfield in the Cup, scored a couple of goals, and a nice run in the first team, but since then has been used sparingly by Manuel Pellegrini. Signed a new contract with the club this season, having made that breakthrough into the team. Oh, it was a lovely touch around the corner from Lukaku to Dalot on the right-hand side, again looking for Rashford. Cleared away by West Ham as far as Pogba. Back to Fred. Crowd asking him to shoot, but maybe somewhat facetiously. Here's Fred again. Chips it cross-field. Lovely ball into Dalot. Low ball, it is good. It's away by Bonner. They've certainly looked more threatening since Rashford's come on.
Yeah, he's put a couple of them balls in for Dalot where he's just looking to put it in an area. But West Ham have been equal to it.
Good clearance by Bonner. Goes for a throw this time. Was a lovely turn by Pogba away from Anderson, but Anderson got back at him well before Masuaku. Then he played himself into trouble. Cleared towards Snodgrass, who's always looking for a free kick. It's a risky game from Robert Snodgrass, but he does always look for the free kick. If he doesn't get it there, then Fred's round the back.
You know, there was nothing really in that. He's gone to go round Fred. He's going down anyway, and the referee has blown for a free kick. Really lucky there.
Good breather for West Ham, as the home side was certainly on top for the first time in the game, with Bonner having to do some last-ditch defending. He's taken the free kick here back to Fabianski. Long towards Diangana, one in the air by Rocco, flicked on by Rashford, but he is offside. Looking for Lukaku.
Just got to watch the runners as well, West Ham. The runners from midfield, as we saw, Pogba likes to run from deep, and as we've seen, Fred as well.
Here's Balbuena for West Ham. Looks for Diangana, not a good ball. Cleared away behind Balbuena, all the way there back to Fabianski. He gives this a thrash upfield towards Javier Hernandez. Oh, Jones has totally missed it. Luckily for him, Hernandez hadn't anticipated that, because he would have been around the back of Jones running at Smalling if he had.
Well, he would have been in there if he had read that. Completely missed his header there, Jones.
Well, he's feeling his thigh, Phil Jones, maybe out of embarrassment, pretending to be injured when he's made a bit of an error. We've all done that one. Here's Pogba. Into Fred behind him, centre of the field, 40 odd yards from goal. 1-2 with Rashford. Good return out right to Lukaku from Fred. Lukaku's ball in, away by Bonner. Pogba had gone down in the box there, not quite sure what had happened to him, but he is down. Up again now as Lukaku comes forward on the right wing. Low cross in, again away by Bonner. Not very well though as far as Marcus Rocco, who's hit it well, but it's held by Fabianski.
Yeah, he did. He caught it well. It just came to him on the about 20 yards out. He's hit it low and hard. Put it straight into Fabianski's arms.
Maybe the run-up was just affected by Graham Scott, the referee, being ever so slightly in the way there.
Yeah.
And they're getting better, United. It's taken a long old time. Fred then is adjudged to have fouled Snodgrass on the halfway. He was turning away from Snodgrass, and he was somewhat bemused. The referee's given the free kick in the West Ham man's favour, and I've got to say, so am I.
Yes, I think he was looking for the free kick. I'm not too sure what. He's probably given it for handball, but I'm not too sure you can do that, because he was going down. It looks like he's got fouled.
Yeah.
It looks like he's given it for handball.
Well, that was a bit harsh on Fred, but it has allowed Snodgrass to come forward, cross towards Hernandez. Over his head, Diangana was creeping in. Marcus Rocco had to deal with it, and did. Heads it behind for a West Ham corner.
Yeah, he did, and again it's a cross from this left-hand side. He took no risk and just headed it out for a corner at the back stick.
Corner West Ham on the attacking right. Played very well, more feel hard done by some decisions, West Ham.
Manchester United got everyone in the box.
They're worried about this Snodgrass corner. Ball delivered in towards the near. Oh, and that's got to be a free kick, surely. Bonner was clapped it into Jones there after Jones had won it. Not been given by the referee. West Ham will play on. Masuaku nearly running into trouble. Goes back to Mark Noble. Under pressure from Lingard. Looks for Fabianski. Just got stuck on the turf a bit there. So Fabianski had to sprint out and give it a right old wallop upfield. All the way to David De Gea. Much to the annoyance of Manuel Pellegrini. I think saying to Noble and Masuaku, you should have gone forward.
Well, you know, they had loads of players up.
Header from Rocco into Martial, who's slightly miscontrolled it, but keeps it on by the corner flag. Trying to back into Balbuena, has actually flicked it out for West Ham throw.
He's been disappointing today, Martial. Expected a lot more from him on the ball, especially with Zabaleta. He'll have the pace on him. He's had him in 1v1 situations a couple of times, but Zabaleta's done really well.
Approaching 70 minutes here. Manchester United 1, West Ham United 1. Reminder, we are back with you tomorrow. Further Premier League action. Crystal Palace against Man City. And Liverpool up against Chelsea. Monday night, Arsenal go to the FA Cup finalist Watford. Lukaku not fouled there by Masuaku. Was screaming for it. Allows West Ham to break away with Snodgrass. Looks left to Felipe Anderson. They're getting bodies forward again here, West Ham. Here is Anderson. Into Snodgrass. Back to Noble. Square to Declan Rice, who winds up the shot. It's well blocked by Marcus Rocco and picked up by Rashford before Bonner. But then Rice will slide in brilliantly on Fred and give it to Mark Noble. Out left to Felipe Anderson. Snodgrass down the line. Here he is now. Anderson's a return ball. Noble's inside. Here he is, Mark Noble. Does take the shot. Deflected. It's away by Marcus Rocco. Recovered again by Declan Rice. Back to Pablo Zabaleta. Down the line to Grady Diangana. Oh, it's a lovely turn away from the defender. He's left him on his backside as well. Here he is in the area, up against Lingard. Maybe trying to do a bit too much. And he's well challenged by Jesse Lingard. And that's going to be a West Ham corner.
It was good playing. It was Rocco that he just twisted and left him on the floor. Diangana. But Declan Rice on a couple of occasions there, winning the ball back for West Ham, has been absolutely magnificent.
They're in high positions as well before United get that ball away. They'll be wanting to keep Declan Rice for a while, West Ham, despite, I'm sure, many clubs looking at him. Snodgrass's ball from this corner on the right. Here it is now from Snodgrass, again won by West Ham. Felipe Anderson flicks it on. Diangana wins the second ball. Has come off Marcus Rocco last, says Graham Scott. And it's another West Ham corner.
It is, and Manchester United got every single one back in the box. And the ball's come up there, and I thought it had come off Diangana, but the referee has given a corner.
West Ham have got Mikel Antonio ready to come on for the last 20 minutes. They will wait until this corner has been taken. There is some tired legs out there from West Ham, I'm sure. Robert Snodgrass giving it to the Man United fans on that far side. As the ball is whipped in, flicks on towards Balbuena. That's some great defending by Phil Jones. He has just got there seconds before Balbuena could turn that home.
That's brilliant defending. Again, it was at the near post. It was a flick on, and it was Jones that just read the flick and he just took it off the end of his boot.
Brilliant defending, right in between Balbuena and Diangana, as Balbuena was looking to turn that ball home. And West Ham will make a change here. And it'll be Javier Hernandez withdrawn. Well, he's not a man suited to the lone striker's role, and maybe Mikel Antonio can be more effective in that position, but he gets a warm ovation from the crowd that he played in front of for so many years and won so many trophies. Not a bad showing as it goes from Hernandez.
No, that's right. He's been on his own up there, and at times he's drawn fouls, worked tirelessly up there, and gets a good ovation from everyone in the ground. 59 goals and 157 appearances for Man United. The last ever goal of the Sir Alex Ferguson era was scored by Javier Hernandez in that bizarre 5-5 draw at West Bromwich Albion. Lukaku on the score sheet for West Brom that day, if memory serves. So he is off, and Mikel Antonio, another who struggled with his fitness this season, is on. A kind of hulking, versatile winger come striker. He's gone straight up front. Well, he'll put himself about and look to get him behind.
There's Robert Snodgrass, who hasn't endeared himself to the Man United support in that corner, getting booed now from them. West Ham have worked it out right. Zabaleta and Diangana. Then Antonio, lovely turn on Jones, but Jones has got back in at him. Fred then will look to find Smalling, who clears upfield. Recovered though by Rice. Noble helps it on down the line, trying to find Antonio. Didn't quite get the lift on it there, Mark Noble.
Declan Rice's reading of the game is very, very good. Blocking everything that comes in.
Going to make a couple of changes themselves here. Manchester United. Mason Greenwood looks set to come on. Made his senior debut against PSG last month. Still just 17 years of age. Pereira, I think, also looks set to come on. We'll confirm that for you shortly, as we are still playing here. 16 minutes of this second half remaining. 1-1. Lovely ball from Pogba. Big diagonal to Lukaku. Controlled on the corner of the area. Masuaku is with him. Cross towards Martial. Back inside to Rashford with the head. Rolls Balbuena, but cleared by Rice, who'd read it. Up towards Antonio. Jones will recover it though for United. In towards Paul Pogba now. Back towards Chris Smalling. Well, we're getting to that stage where if Man United want to be in the Champions League next year, they have got to get the winning goal. Doesn't matter about the performance at this point. Here's Lukaku down the right hand side. Low cross in towards Rashford. Good defending Balbuena. Snodgrass then beats Dalot, but it breaks to Fred. Gets away from Declan Rice. Running left in towards Pogba. Back heel towards Martial. Gets the shot away. Offside flag though has gone up against Anthony Martial. Though with that assistant referee, there's no way of knowing.
Well, West Ham have defended crosses really well. Anything that's come to the near stick, they've got there first. And Martial there, from the little flick through from Lukaku, he was just offside.
So Mason Greenwood is on, the 17-year-old for Lukaku, and Marcus Rocco on his return from injury, also withdrawn. It is Andreas Pereira, who is on the field as well, usually a defensive midfielder, might just be going to replace the left back there in a straight swap. We'll have to confirm that for you shortly. Another change coming up here, and Ryan Fredericks is going to be coming on for Pablo Zabaleta. Fresh legs and maybe more attacking emphasis from that right back area.
Yeah, and he's got a bit of pace as well, Fredericks.
Certainly had a hit and miss campaign, Ryan Fredericks. Looks like Pablo Zabaleta might have a bit of a problem as well. That's why he's gone off. So there we go. All the changes that can be made have been made. It's these players until the death now. Will we get a winning goal that Man United desperately need at West Ham? One performance probably deserve. Fred's been caught by Mark Noble. Into Mikel Antonio. Goal side of Fred, who's nibbling at him. Still going, Antonio, still going! Oh, he's hit the bar! He's hit the bar, Mikel Antonio. Fantastic solo run. Back to Anderson. Shot right at David De Gea. Well, West Ham, if you're not going to win today, you're never going to win at Old Trafford.
Well, Antonio shows everything there. Strength. Fred's on at his back. He's just pulled it inside onto his left side, and he's hit the ball. He's beat De Gea. All hands up. Flown back off the ball. I'm sure the crossbar's still shaking.
What a wallop from Mikel Antonio. What a let-off for Fred as well.
It was his mistake, and then he tried to get back. But you just saw the strength of Antonio there, just to hold him off and work the angle for the shot.
Certainly has played as auxiliary striker before, Mikel Antonio. Made it right back, right wing, left wing, centre midfield, number 10, now up front. There should have been an Old Trafford scorer there. Maybe another chance will come as Mark Noble chips it forward towards Robert Snodgrass. He could have gone high boot there, he held it down, and Smalling has done well to run across him and win it back. And it's out to the right hand side now, and Greenwood, good challenge by Masuaku, and that's a really good ball forward to Antonio, who's got Jones and Fred to beat. Diangana's in the area for him. Antonio's still running with it. What's he going to do? It's into Diangana, who's not continued his run, but he has recovered it in the penalty area. Grady Diangana, cross comes in, Antonio! Oh, what a save! That is a world-class save from David De Gea. The header went down and then up, and then it's somehow been scooped off the goal line by David De Gea.
Well, Diangana there, if he continues his run, he's got a tap in. He doesn't. The ball gets played out, he gets crossed back in.
Corner's taken short, crossed by Felipe Anderson, away by Mason Greenwood. Recovered by Fredericks, poor header forward, straight at Paul Pogba. West Ham got to regroup now. Pogba's ball right towards Pereira, straight out of play.
It's a fantastic save there from De Gea.
What a stop that was. What a stop. If they do win this game, Manchester United, they will look back at that as a key moment. World-class goalkeeping from their captain. But it's West Ham coming forward again. Anderson finds Antonio into Snodgrass, looking for a return ball. Tired little touch there from Robert Snodgrass, and it's straight to Pogba. Good ball forward, and Martial is through, and Martial for the win here. That's got to be a penalty, surely. That's got to be a penalty from Fredericks' challenge. It is a penalty. It is just a yellow card for Ryan Fredericks, who went to ground, and it'll be a second penalty of this game for Manchester United.
Well, it was a ball that's gone through, and it's Pogba who played the ball through. Fredericks was just ball watching. The ball's got played behind him. He's never going to make up. Martial just slows down, waits for the tackle. It's a definite penalty.
Now, in years gone by, that would have been a red card, but of course they brought in the double jeopardy rules now, so if you are going for the ball, which he was, it is just a yellow card. You aren't punished twice with a straight red card and the penalty as well. So that is why it's just a yellow for Ryan Fredericks, for those that are wondering. And you're right to wonder.
It's quite unbelievable. I mean, Fredericks is arguing there, saying that he got the ball.
No.
There's a definite penalty.
It's no chance, clear penalty. And it's Paul Pogba from the spot again against Lucas Fabianski. Incredibly, Manchester United, who have been utterly outplayed at Old Trafford, have the chance to go 2-1 up. It's Paul Pogba once again from the penalty spot up against Fabianski. A big puff of the cheeks, and Pogba scores! This time Fabianski goes the right way, but this time it's the power and precision of Pogba that puts United 2-1 up.
Yeah, again, he took his time. Again, Pogba waited, hit it low and hard to the goalkeeper's right. Fabianski went the right way, was beat by the power. 2-1 Man United.
Well, there's a lot of West Ham players and their manager as well. They're all just looking at each other, scratching their heads and just asking how on earth they are losing this game. I think we're very much in that position as well. It makes no sense. It's now 13 league goals this year for Paul Pogba. Another one from the spot. It's a fantastic penalty. Ryan Fredericks with a really awful challenge to give that penalty away.
Yeah, it was, and it was just a case of ball watching, not knowing where your man is. Ball gets played behind Fredericks. He's never ever going to get back. Gives the penalty away, 2-1 Man United, and it's quite unbelievable because West Ham have been magnificent today. They really have.
Still 10 minutes to get something from this game, West Ham. 10 minutes where the pace of the counter-attack may well be very threatening for Manchester United. Again they're winning, which means again they're going above Arsenal in the table, up to 5th in that chase for next season's Champions League. Fredericks chased down there by Rashford. Throw in for West Ham on the halfway line. Manuel Pellegrini, maybe one of the most emotional managers, but certainly has been brought to the edge of his technical area today. He's a man under pressure, there's no doubt about that. West Ham's form has been dreadful, certainly away from home. Could still find themselves with a lower bottom half finish this season, which would be a real disaster for West Ham, considering what was spent on this squad and the manager during the summer just gone. May have been some debate about the first penalty, absolutely none about the second. Maybe from Ryan Fredericks, but that's about it.
Yeah, no, you could see it before he's even made this happen. You could see what was going to happen. He was going to bring him down from behind.
Here is Paul Pogba on the halfway. Forward ball intercepted by Balbuena. West Ham got to regroup here. No reason to feel too despondent. They have played very, very well. And they've still got Felipe Anderson on the field. Here he is now, running at Pereira. Got the cross in. It's hit Pereira. Another corner for West Ham. And plenty of chances now to threaten from these positions. And this will be their 10th corner of the game at Old Trafford, where they've had more possession, more shots.
You certainly didn't see this before the game, but they've, again, and Snodgrass has got good delivery.
Centre halves are forward. Snodgrass is taking it. Here he is now, flicked on again by Anderson, hits Pereira, and the clearance has hit Felipe Anderson, and that'll be a goal kick to Manchester United. And it might just be the time where West Ham's players start to wonder how on earth this has not been their day.
Yeah, and there was another corner whip to the near stick. Just got blocked from the Manchester United defender.
7 minutes of normal time remaining here. David De Gea, who made that outstanding save at 1-1, will take the goal kick. And we mentioned it, Rufus, it's David De Gea. How many times when they win is it down to him making fantastic stops?
He's made an unbelievable stop, and probably a minute before that, Antonio hit the crossbar. So, they can count themselves unlucky West Ham, but I just say there's still 7 minutes to go.
There'll be West Ham fans asking how they can do this at Old Trafford. They get utterly outplayed by Cardiff City, and quite frankly I'm not sure anyone's got the answer, least of all Manuel Pellegrini.
Yes.
Here's Declan Rice from West Ham, bringing the ball forward diagonally. He's done well there, and he's found Felipe Anderson as well, who running at Pereira again. Lovely turn, lovely ball in, controlled by Antonio. Diangana is there, gets the shot away, but he never got hold of it. Grady Diangana, and it bounces through to David De Gea, and now United can break. And they're already over the halfway with Pereira. Greenwood on the outside. Here he is now, Mason Greenwood at 17, running at Masuaku in towards Martial. Good challenge by Angelo Ogbonna. Mark Noble running around with it on the edge, being caught by Jesse Lingard, and wins a free kick.
Yeah, and as the ball got played there to Diangana, I think Antonio just he thought he was in the way, and he was couldn't quite get his shot off. Another opportunity for West Ham there.
Henderson again. And a lot of running today for West Ham. It's on the halfway. Diggs one cross field, looking for Diangana. Just isn't going to get there, Grady Diangana. They've certainly lost a bit of rhythm since Manuel Lanzini was withdrawn through injury, West Ham. Story of the season, really. Just seeing a replay on our TV monitors of that save from Antonio from David De Gea. Just amazing save, isn't it?
He's done everything right, Antonio. He's headed it down, and it's bounced up. It's going into the top corner, and he's just flung himself across and put it right.
West Ham still looking for that equalising goal here. Diangana, Fredericks outside of him, crosses blocked. Another corner for West Ham. 11th of the match now for the Hammers. Will they be able to make one of these count?
Yeah, well, again, Manchester United have got everyone back again to defend this corner from Snodgrass.
It's not a goal that would mean much in the season for West Ham, but it might mean something for the future of Manuel Pellegrini. Snodgrass's delivery, another good one. De Gea's underneath it, he flaps at it rather. Balbuena forward, Rice helps it on, Pogba away, Martial further away, recovered by Fredericks. Good ball out right to Snodgrass. Snodgrass into Felipe Anderson, trying to help it on to Ogbonna, he can't. And it's well won by Dalot, he's done really well to stay in the way of that. Ogbonna's kept it on that far side. Clearance from Pogba straight to Snodgrass. Noble then looks into Rice. It's cleared away by Jones, who's been bleeding since that corner came in. He went down under challenge. The referee didn't stop it, which he should have done.
He should have stopped it.
Maybe he hasn't noticed the head injury.
Well, he saw him go down there. I think it was a chance with Declan Rice.
Loads of blood coming out of his face there. It was an elbow from Declan Rice. He did win the head of Declan Rice. It wasn't a swing of the arm, but it's a painful one, and it is one that the referee, if he'd have seen it, I'm sure would have stopped it.
Yes, and unless they're bandaging him up, he's bleeding heavily. Oh, that's right above the eye. He's going to need some stitches in that. I'm not too sure he'll carry on.
He's going to get a nice bit of treatment here, and of course United have made their 3 changes, so they can't bring anyone on here, so they're going to need to do some battlefield surgery on Phil Jones for the final 3 minutes of normal time. But there has been 2 goals, a long penalty decision, and a whole bunch of changes, so there might be a 4-5 minute addition here at the end of this game for United to survive. Another injury here as well. He's now getting bandaged up. Looks like a really nasty cut, doesn't it, on his head there?
It looks like a nasty cut, and again he'll need some stitches in that at the end of the game. But yeah, he's bandaging him up.
Well, it's getting that big black bandage on now. Nice bit of, I assume, like Vaseline or something into the cut to stop the bleeding for the next few minutes. It might be a fair amount of game, as we mentioned. It has been a fair old game as well. And West Ham, they will feel very hard done by should they go back to East London with nothing.
Yeah, they will do.
They've got some tough games coming up, West Ham. They've got Leicester at home on Saturday next week. That's our feature game of the afternoon kickoffs. They go to Tottenham, their most hated rivals, for the first time at their brand new stadium. And Southampton at home and Watford away. It's not inconceivable they won't get any more points this season, unless they can start finding the back of the net when they have a chance.
And they've come to Old Trafford and played like this. 18
shots, 4 on target, 55% possession. And that is something you do not see very often. As always played down the line here to Antonio. Phil Jones is on, and we have about 90 seconds of normal time remaining. Crucial Man United can hold on here. We've spoken a lot about West Ham, understandably, with the way they've played, but for Man United this will be a huge result in the chase for the Champions League, as Ogbonna heads back to Fabianski. A little bit short there from Ogbonna, but Fabianski read it well. Ogbonna then finds the ball forward to Snodgrass, left to Masuaku and back to Angelo Ogbonna. Ogbonna up towards the halfway, looks left to Masuaku. Here's Felipe Anderson now running in field, wants a pass, has to go back to Declan Rice. And this is the time where West Ham might look for someone like Samir Nasri, or might look for someone like Andy Carroll or Marko Arnautovic, Yarmolenko, Jack Wilshere.
Well, the list goes on. All them players that you've mentioned unavailable today.
Is Ogbonna up over the halfway for West Ham, carrying the fight to Man United. It's out left to Felipe Anderson. Declan Rice again now in the centre circle. West Ham still just bossing the play. Mark Noble, good game from the West Ham skipper. Seen the ball many of times across the game, rarely giving it away. Declan Rice scoring the shots from the centre circle. A player who probably reminds both sets of supporters of Michael Carrick, who is on the bench today, of course, for Man United in the coaching staff of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 5 minutes have been added on here for Manchester United to try and survive, and West Ham to create a chance to get a deserved point.
Manchester United defending deep now, just letting West Ham have the ball and move the ball from side to side.
Rice to Fredericks. Back to Mark Noble. Not a great deal of movement for West Ham ahead. Holds his arms wide, Mark Noble, and asks for someone to make a move for him.
There's no movement, is there? Everyone's static. No one running in behind.
And now Ogbonna has poked the ball into touch. They look deflated, West Ham, don't they? I understand that.
Yeah, you know, they have been very, very good today. It just looks like the wind's been... Stuffing's been knocked out of them a little bit now.
I'm just getting a few people getting in touch with us here to say that when the ball was played through to Anthony Martial for the goal, which looks like being the winner, he may well have been offside. Not quite sure on the replay we're getting here, but that'll be another one for West Ham to feel aggrieved about. There's been a few in this game. Here's Mark Noble. Chipped out right to Diangana. Chance now to run at the full-back. Good challenge though by Rashford running back. Diangana didn't really get on with that at any sort of pace. Cleared by Dalot. One well held by Balbuena up against Martial, but Lingard's there to nick it back off Balbuena. And now Rashford's running with Fredericks, and Fredericks has done well this time. Didn't lose his man as he did for the second penalty, and he's knocked it back to Fabianski.
Fredericks has done really well there. Match Rashford yard for yard. And Rashford just getting back into a defensive position. It's like Martial is playing down the middle now.
Ogbonna's chip towards Antonio, won by Smalling, being chased down by Robert Snodgrass. Fred looking for the free kick and getting it. Robert Snodgrass getting a taste of his own medicine there. He's done that plenty of times in this game, Robert Snodgrass, and Fred will take his time getting up.
Yeah, Fred's okay there. He's just caught him after the ball. Fred's gone down. He's got the free kick. And then he'll just trying to just slow this play up, trying to kill the game.
Yeah, West Ham have certainly lost a lot of their forward momentum since additional time came up. United have dropped incredibly deep. No space in between, in behind at all for West Ham to exploit, as they have so well in this game.
It will be a massive 3 points for Manchester United, even though the performance has not been good. You know, they're looking to get the 3 points.
Chip down the line towards Lingard from Man United. Balbuena will recover it. Looks to clear it, blocked by Jesse Lingard. Another hard-working performance from Jesse Lingard in midfield. Just moments away now, Manchester United, from getting a crucial victory in their race for the top four. Unless West Ham have got one final chance in them. Antonio there couldn't get away from 4, but Fred's pass back towards De Gea is poor, and De Gea's going to run out of goal and get there before Antonio, almost by the corner flag there. Not sure what Fred was doing at all in that situation.
Well, Fred again, I'm not too sure what he was doing. He's tried to pass it back, but he's under-hit it, and Antonio just chased it down.
And now Man United are having to hack the ball upfield. This time it's Pogba up towards Martial, recovered by Balbuena, but his header towards Fredericks has bounced out of play. It may well be the last heart flutter for Manchester United as their entire bench is up, asking players to get deep, push back and stay in front of goal. Such has been this game, the way it's gone. It's going to be another defeat for West Ham. But not going to be the kind of defeat they have suffered in recent weeks, where they were absolutely bossed by Everton. And they were beaten by Eden Hazard on Monday today. The game plan's worked out, but they've given away 2 penalties.
Yes. They have, and you know, they've been very good, West Ham.
But it's a different game if Felipe Anderson's goal that was disallowed to make it 1-0 had gone in. United have got a free kick here on the halfway line, which Mark Noble wants to take. Jesse Lingard is stopping them from doing so. Still stopping them from doing so. And eventually he'll leave it for Fabianski on the halfway.
No, just take
it. It doesn't matter who's going to take it. Mark Noble runs away, Fredericks runs away. It doesn't matter. It's the last minute. Anderson up. Valbuena on. Can't flick it forward. And there is the final whistle from Graham Scott. And Manchester United have won against West Ham by 2-1. They find themselves back up to 5th, above Arsenal, having somehow overcome West Ham here. And there are some seriously bemused faces all around Old Trafford, both the home support and the away support. On the balance of play, on the game we watch, West Ham should not have been beaten, but they have been. We'll find out exactly how that happened right now. Here's the highlights.